After Ethan changed his plan of going somewhere because he was so interested in getting to know Sophie more, Ethan invited Sophie to stay for the night at his place since he had booked a hotel reservation for a few days. "Ethan, would you like to stay at my place for the night? We will have dinner and you can go home the day after." Sophie, she has no plans for the night, so she thought maybe staying the night is not a bad idea. Okay. Sophie booked a car on her way to the mall where the meeting place is. Sophie appreciated how Ethan changed his plan just to spend time with her. Since she saw that Ethan was trying so hard to get to know her and spend time with her, Sophie is happy with agreeing to meet him and is looking forward to it. Sophie's phone buzzed while on her way to meet Ethan. "Ethan, what coffee do you like?" Sophie smiled. "Cafe latte, please." Sophie walks through the mall, scanning the crowd until she spots Ethan waiting in the coffee shop near the entrance. As she approaches, Ethan and Sophie met and had a sweet smile on their faces. "Ethan, I'm glad you came." "Ethan, here's your coffee." Sophie, "Oh, thank you." Sophie looks at him, her heart warming at the simple yet thoughtful gesture. Sophie, playfully, "I didn't expect you to actually get it for me." Ethan, teasing, "What kind of guy would I be if I asked and then ignored it?" Sophie chuckles, shaking her head as they start walking through the mall. The conversation flows effortlessly, filled with laughter and stories. At one point, Ethan glances at her, his gaze lingering. They started to sit and Ethan started talking about something Sophie couldn't understand since Sophie is distracted with how calm Ethan is. After the conversation, Ethan invited Sophie to leave the cafe and go to the hotel. And while they were walking in the mall, Ethan can't help himself to stare at Sophie's face. Ethan, genuine. "You're so pretty, Sophie." Sophie blushes, caught off guard. She tucks a strand of hair behind her ear, looking away for a moment. Sophie, embarrassed, "Stop, you're making me shy." Ethan laughs, "Just speaking the truth." They continue strolling, their connection growing with every step. Eventually, Ethan turns to her with a casual smile. Ethan booked a car, and while waiting for the grab, Sophie is kind of anxious of what will happen and how she would feel about going to Ethan's place, even though they already had a passionate night the night before. Ethan noticed and assured her. Ethan, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you, okay?" Sophie nodded. The car arrived and they were distant, sitting in the car, and silence is overwhelming. They arrive at the hotel without noticing that it's already evening and it's time for dinner. So they just went straight to the room, dropped their stuff, and headed to the lounge where they could have dinner in the hotel. It is a buffet, and it's Sophie's first time trying to eat in a buffet, so she's having a hard time making a decision what to pick to make sure she only get what she can really finish. So she just picked some small pieces of food and put them on her plate. Ethan, "Where do you like to sit?" Sophie, "I don't mind any sit as long as it's comfy." Ethan chose the best sit and they sat and ate. Ethan is so laid back and just starts telling stories about his childhood adventures, his dreams, and the places he's worked when he was young. Sophie, equally enchanted, shares her own tales of youthful dreams and the challenges she's faced. They both find it refreshing to talk about more than just their successes. The exchange of heartfelt stories brings a new excitement to their evening, and it mesmerizes Sophie how open and genuine Ethan is with his life, making their connection even more romantic. And while they're talking about Ethan's life, Sophie is just so eager to listen. The communication goes on since the connection is too strong, and they both understand each other. Then Sophie's plate only have a few pieces left of food and can feel that she is full already, but wanted to try some of the mini sushis, but she is too shy to get more of it, and Ethan's is already finished. So Ethan went up to get more food. Sophie is just sitting and is enjoying few pieces on her plate. Ethan is taking his time to get some varieties of food, but then when Ethan came back, he leaned on Sophie. Ethan, setting it down in front of her. "Here, just enough so you won't regret it." Sophie looks at the plate, then at Ethan. Warmth spreads through her chest. Sophie, softly, "You're thoughtful." Ethan, "I try," winks and takes a sip of his drink. And as the night goes by, they finish the eating and drank their wine. They went back to their room. Sophie and Ethan step inside the dimly lit hotel room after dinner. The air is warm, charged with something neither of them fully expected but can't ignore. Ethan takes off his shirt, glancing at Sophie, who sits on the edge of the bed, kicking off her heels. Ethan, softly, "That was a great night." Sophie, smiling, "Yeah, it really was." Pauses, looking at him. "I don't think I've ever felt this comfortable with someone so fast." Ethan sits beside her. "Me neither. It's kind of crazy, right?" Sophie laughs lightly. "It is, but it feels right." Ethan watches her for a moment, then gently tucks a strand of hair behind her ear. Sophie's breath catches as his touch lingers. She looks up at him, and before either of them can second-guess it, their lips meet in a slow, deep kiss. Sophie melts into his arms as Ethan pulls her close. The warmth between them grows as they hold onto each other, lost in the intensity of the moment. They don't rush. There's something electric yet tender about the way they fit together. When they finally pull away, their foreheads rest against each other, breathing in the closeness. Sophie whispers, "This is insane!" Ethan chuckles softly. "Yeah, but I'm not complaining." They share a look, something unspoken passing between them, before sliding under the covers, wrapped in each other's warmth. The night fades into quiet whispers, soft laughter, and eventually peaceful sleep. Sophie wakes up to the soft glow of the early morning sun peeking through the curtains. She turns over, expecting to see Ethan awake, but he's still fast asleep, his breathing slow and steady. Smiling to herself, she grabs her phone from the nightstand and starts scrolling through reels, her screen casting a faint glow in the dim room. She tries to keep her laughter quiet as she watches a funny video covering her mouth. A few minutes pass, then an hour. She checks the time. It's getting late and Ethan is still sound asleep. She nudges him gently. Ethan, sleepy smile. "Morning, you've been up long?" Sophie, smiling. "A little." Ethan, stretching. "Come on, let's get breakfast." They find a quiet spot in the lounge, sipping coffee and sharing a relaxed meal. Ethan is thoughtful, making sure Sophie is comfortable, engaging her in conversation and making her last morning with him special. Ethan, softly. "So, what happens after this?" Sophie, smiling. "I don't know, but I think I want to find out." As they finish their breakfast, the connection between them lingers, warm, unspoken, and full of possibilities.